I want to be upfront about something before we start. You can't fix your entire life in one day. Not in the way the title suggests. Not in the way you're hoping for when you click on something with this kind of headline. The version where you go to sleep broken and then wake up fixed, that doesn't exist. And any video that tells you otherwise is just trying to sell you something. So then, why the title of this video? Because there's a version of it that is true. Not fixing everything in a day in the sense of completing the transformation, but making a set of decisions and taking a set of actions in a single day that genuinely changes your trajectory, that moves you from a life that's drifting to a life that's directed. And in one day, you can do that, not by fixing everything, but by starting everything, by creating enough clarity, enough momentum, enough structural change that the day after looks meaningfully different from the day before. That's what this video is. A real protocol for using one day to shift the trajectory of your life in ways that compound from there. So let's be honest about what that actually requires. Before I walk you through that day, I want to name the thing that keeps most people from ever having this day at all. And it's not motivation. Most people have enough motivation. They feel dissatisfaction. They know something needs to change. They want the different life. The motivation is there. What's missing is the decision to actually start. Today, not when conditions are better, not after the current situation resolves, not when they feel more ready. Today. And the reason why that decision is so hard to make is because it's an identity event. It's not just doing a different thing, it's becoming a different person. And an identity change, even a desired one, produces a specific resistance. Because if you start today, then you can no longer tell yourself the story about how you're going to begin. The story that you're someone who's about to change is comfortable in a way that actually changing isn't. It has all the psychological benefits of being a person who's working on things without any of the discomfort of actually doing them. So the day I'm going to describe to you ends that story today, not gently, decisively. And that's why it works. Not because of some specific tactics, but because of the commitment that doing it represents. This day is a line in the sand. There's a before this and after this. And the person on the after side is different than the person on the before side, not because everything is fixed, but because you made the decision to actually start changing them. And that decision, the real one, followed up by action, is less common than you think. Now, before we have this day that fixes everything, first we need to talk about the night before the day. Because what you do the night before determines whether that next day is a genuine reset or just another day you meant to do something different. So the first thing to keep in mind is the night before you want to go to sleep early, genuinely early, not at your normal time, earlier, because the day you're about to have requires cognitive and emotional resources that you don't have when you're running on 6 hours of sleep. Now, this isn't optional. Getting to bed at 10 instead of midnight or 11 instead of 1 is the first decision of your reset. It's the one that costs you something right now because those shows you won't watch, the scrolling you won't do, is in exchange for the most valuable version of yourself being available tomorrow. And your second thing to do is to write down these three things the night before. The first thing to write down is one honest sentence about why your life needs to change. Not a paragraph, but one sentence, something that's very specific. Something that maybe you're too embarrassed to say out loud. But that's all right because no one else will have to see this. It's just to make the need concrete enough so that way your morning self tomorrow, who will want to negotiate, can't argue with you. Your second thing to write down is one sentence about what the life you want actually looks like. And again, this has to be specific. Not, I want to be happy, but a specific image of what different looks like to you. And then your third and final thing to write down are three things that you're actually going to do tomorrow that will help you move towards that second sentence you wrote down. So these three things you're doing tomorrow aren't someday things you want to do, but three actual things you'll be doing differently tomorrow. Things that you can do in minutes, not hours or months. Then, once you have all of this written down, I want you to put that somewhere where it'll be the first thing you see when you wake up tomorrow. And I would recommend choosing a Friday night or a Saturday night to do this, so that way you have all day, Saturday or Sunday, to transform your life. And now, the next day, I want you to wake up between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. I want you to wake up before your life gets access to you. This is the principle the whole morning runs on. The emails and the notifications will have to wait for another day. I want this morning to be just for you. When you wake up, I don't want you to use your phone for the first hour, because the first hour of your day determines the neurological baseline for the entire day. If you front load this day with stimulation and reactivity, then you've already compromised your cognitive and emotional state you need for what this day requires. So instead of going for your phone right away, I want you to move your body within the first 20 minutes of waking up. And this is not for optimization, but as a signal to your nervous system that today is different. This could be a walk outside or some movement in whatever form is accessible to you in the morning. The point of this isn't fitness. The point is that physical movement in the morning, especially with natural light, is one of the most reliable ways to shift your neurological state from sleep mode to engaged mode. Then, once you've completed your physical activity, I want you to read those 3 things you wrote down the night before. And if possible, try to read them out loud. The act of saying it out loud is different than just reading it internally, because it will make what you wrote down feel realer. This is your orientation for the day. This is why today is different and what different means. Then your next step is to write for about 30 minutes. Not a journal in a therapeutic sense, but more like a thinking session. Put the problem, the parts of your life you want to change, on paper and think about it without using your phone. What's actually wrong? What have you been avoiding acknowledging? What do you need to do that you have not been doing? And this thinking session will not be comfortable. It will surface things that you have not been thinking about. So you're not trying to feel better for these 30 minutes. You're trying to find clarity, because seeing things clearly is the prerequisite to everything that follows after. Then we move on to the next section of your day. This will be from around 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. And this will be the hardest part of the day and most important. You're going to audit yourself and take a look at what your actual life is. Not the story of your life, not the version of your life you describe to people who ask, but the actual thing. What your days look like in reality. What's working and what's not. What you've been telling yourself is fine that isn't fine. And go through each different category of your life separately and write a few sentences on each one. And be as honest as you can, because remember, no one's seeing this but you. The audience is only you, and you already know what's true. You're just finally writing it down. So, your body. How are you actually treating your body? Sleep, food, movement, alcohol, the substances you use to regulate your mood. Not the aspirational version. What's actually happening? What's the cost of that? Your mind. What are you feeding your brain? What percentage of your information intake is genuinely chosen versus algorithmically delivered? Are you reading, thinking, creating, or mostly consuming? What's the quality of your attention on a typical day? Your work. Not whether it's good or bad, whether it's right, whether the direction is right, whether the person you're becoming through this work is someone you respect, whether there's momentum or just maintenance. Your money. Where is it going? Not the general sense of I spend too much. Specifically, do you know the number? Do you have a direction? Is your financial situation something you're managing or something that's managing you? Your relationships. Who are you spending the most time with? Are those people making you better or making it comfortable to stay the same? Are there relationships you're maintaining out of habit rather than genuine connection or growth? Are there relationships you're neglecting that matter more than the time you're giving them? And your direction. Where is all of this going? Is there one? Do you have a sense of momentum towards something, or does the future feel like more of the same? Is the person you're becoming someone you choose to be? Write the honest version of each of these. And this whole audit will probably take about 2 to 3 hours if you're being honest with yourself. And if that feels like too long for you, just remember that this day is the day you'll fix everything. So this is the most important conversation you'll have all year, and you're having it with yourself. So at the end of this audit, you should have something that feels uncomfortable but clear. A clear picture of where things actually are. Which things are working and which things aren't. Which things need immediate attention and which things need long-term change. Then you'll move to the part of the day where you make decisions, and this will be from around 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. If you haven't already, eat something for today. Take a break from this morning's intensity and then come back. Because this session of your day is about converting the clarity you found in your life audit into making actual decisions. And when I say a decision, I don't mean I'm going to take better care of my body. A decision is I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 every night and I'm not buying alcohol this week and I'm walking every morning before I look at my phone. These decisions are specific, they're behavioral, they're something that you can actually do. And they're things you can either do or not do. So now go through each category of your audit that needs attention. And for each one, make a specific decision, not a goal, not an intention, a decision. Something that you're committed to starting today and continuing from here. Now, this is not a complete life overhaul. Pick one thing to change per section, one thing per area that would move the needle if you did it consistently. So next to each section, I want you to write down that specific action you're going to take today. All that's required for this action is that it's something, when done, produces evidence that the decision is actual rather than aspirational. It could be something as simple as deleting an app, having a conversation, making an appointment, something real that makes today different than yesterday in a way that can't be undone. Then the next part of your day will be the execution phase. And this will be from around 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this section is very simple. It's the part where you do the things. And not some of the things, but all the things that you just wrote down. Every decision you made in the previous session has an associated action. So now do the actions one at a time. And don't put off any of those things for tomorrow. Today didn't get busy. You protected today. This is what it was protected for. This execution session is about closing the gap between the person who made the decisions and the person who followed through on them. That gap is where identity lives. Every time you make a decision and don't follow through, you're telling yourself something. You're building evidence that your decisions don't mean anything, that your intentions don't translate, that you're someone who says they'll change and doesn't. Every time you make a decision and do the thing, especially when it's uncomfortable and especially when the motivation isn't there, you're telling yourself something different. You're building evidence. You're becoming someone whose decisions mean something. So use this time now to do all the things. It may take a few hours, it may be uncomfortable, but do it anyway. Because once you finish that, you enter the final session of today, which is the evening part. And this will be from around 6 p.m. to whenever you go to sleep. And since you've had an intense day so far, this evening session is not for more intensity. It's for integration and protection. Protect the evening from the noise. No news, no social media beyond what's genuinely necessary. No content that's going to reintroduce the stimulation and reactivity that the day was designed to reduce. The evening is the beginning of the next morning. What you put in your brain in the hours before sleep affects the sleep and the morning that follows. Do something genuinely restorative, not passive consumption, something that actually replenishes. A walk, a real conversation with someone you trust, cooking and eating a meal you actually like, reading something you chose. Whatever your version of genuinely restorative looks like, the thing that leaves you feeling more like yourself, not less. And write for 15 minutes before bed. Not the intense morning writing, quieter. 3 things. What happened today that was real? What you decided and did. And what tomorrow's first action is. The first action tomorrow, the one that continues what today started, write it down tonight. So the morning self knows where to begin without having to figure it out in a state of half alertness. And that was your last and final step. So, what did today actually do? Let me be honest about what this day produces and what it doesn't. It doesn't fix your entire life. The problems in your audit don't go away because you spent a day looking at them. The patterns you identified don't change because you made decisions about them. And the life you want doesn't arrive because you wrote it down. But what that day does is this. It closes the gap between knowing and doing. Most people know what needs to change. They've known for a long time. The gap between knowing and actually doing something about it is where years disappear. This day closes that gap. It creates evidence. The decisions you made and followed through on today are evidence. Evidence that you're someone who does what they say. Evidence that the life you want isn't permanently out of reach. Evidence that today can be genuinely different than yesterday if you decide it and act accordingly. It changes the baseline. Tomorrow, you're waking up as someone who did this, who looked honestly at their life, made real decisions, and followed through them in the same day. That's a different starting point than the day before, and it builds momentum. The hardest part of change is starting. The first day is hardest. Tomorrow, it's easier. And the day after is easier still. Not because the work is easier, but because your identity has started to shift. Because you have evidence now. Because the person who did this yesterday is more capable of doing it again today. So one day doesn't fix your entire life, but it can be the day that everything else comes after. So to end off this video, here's the thing about fixing your life. It never happens all at once. It happens in accumulations, in daily decisions that compound over weeks and months into something unrecognizable from the outside, in the quiet, unspectacular work of being someone who follows through again and again until following through is just who you are. But that accumulation has to start somewhere, and it starts in a day, a specific real. This is the one day where the decision is made and acted on rather than deferred into the comfortable future where everything is always about to change. Most people are waiting for that day to arrive, for the circumstances to be right, for their motivation to be high enough. But that day doesn't arrive, it's chosen, it's declared, it's made, not found. And this can be that day. Not because this video was inspiring enough, or the protocol was clever enough, or the timing was finally right, but because you decided it is. And because the only day you can actually change anything is the day you're in. And you're in today, so why not use it differently?